Hi, I'm Ariana if you're new here. If you're not, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to get this beautiful, everyday, pastel, simple, but colorful eyeshadow look. So the palette that I'm using today is the Ace Beauté Floral Vintage palette. This palette is beautiful, and the shades that I went in with are these lilac shades, dark brown, this peachy orange, and this pale yellow shade. I also went in with a transition shade, which I will show you in a moment, but the first thing that I went ahead and did was prime my eyes. So I usually just take the concealer that I use to carve out my eyebrows and just bring it down onto my lids. I do put like face primer on my lids, but if you want to go in with an eyeshadow primer, go for it. I just use concealer, the leftover concealer that I have. The first thing that I went ahead and did with the eyeshadow was take that orange transition shade that I forgot to show you, but I just took a kind of lighter shade than that dark brown shade that I chose to use, and I'm just placing it toward the outer corner and basically throughout my entire crease. But I'm also kind of trying to keep most of the pigment and most of the concentration and darkness toward the outer corner. So I'm basically trying to sculpt out the shape of the eye look with this, keeping the darkest part toward the outer corner and giving the outer corner more depth, more definition, and shape. So after I have that nice and buffed out, I went in with the darker brown shade. So this shade is not like as dark or as deep as you would think it is. It is pretty like a nice dark brown, but it is still kind of warm and coppery. So I wasn't trying to go for like really dramatic or really dark with this eyeshadow look. This is kind of like an everyday simple eyeshadow look. So I did want to go in and add some depth in that outer corner, but I didn't want it to be too dark. So this shade was perfect, and it also matched the transition shade very well. So I went ahead and kind of added most of the concentration and the pigment toward the literally outer corner of my eye, and I kind of just winged it out as well as buffed out the edges of it to blend into that transition shade, and I was happy with how it came out. So after that, I took the peachy orange shade and I literally just kind of tapped or dabbed it onto the kind of center of my lid, but like the last 2/3 of my lid, and I just used like tapping dabbing motions, and I felt like this was a great way to kind of blend that into that darker brown shade and have like a beautiful subtle pop of color, which is exactly what I was going for. So I kind of kept this in one place on my eyelid. It was like the last 2/3 of my lid, and then I went ahead and added this lilac shade to the inner corner, but this is kind of like the inner corner of my crease. So I kind of kept this toward the upper inner corner area just to create a beautiful kind of subtle another pop of color, and I really like the placement of this and how it came out and how the color harmonies match. So I felt like the lilac looks really good with that peach shade, and then I went in with this beautiful pale yellow shade. So with this shade, I went ahead and put this on my absolute inner corner and just kind of filled in all of the areas that still were a little bare, and just kind of like used the tapping motion in the shader brush to kind of blend all three shades together. So I feel like these shades look super pretty together and they match each other so well. And that's basically it. I then went ahead and cleaned up the outer corner with some concealer. This I do with all of my eyeshadow looks. It just helps both of your eyes to look much more symmetrical and much more clean. I definitely recommend using a concealer that matches whatever is going on the under eye area. And then I went ahead and blended it out with the same brush that I used to kind of disperse that concealer to prep and prime my eyes. So after this, I kind of just buffed out that transition shade, because sometimes when I do clean up my outer corners, it ends up looking a little too shapely, like a little bit too harsh. There are some harsh lines after that. So I went ahead and kind of just buffed out the edges with a clean brush. And that's basically it. That is the eyeshadow look, and I went ahead and added some mascara. So I also want to mention that you can definitely add some eyeliner if you want. I wanted to keep this as simple as possible, so I would definitely recommend doing a kind of half liner look where you start your liner in the middle of your eye and then just create a wing, and I feel like brown eyeliner would look really good with this look. Also, you can definitely smoke out your lower lash line or add some liner to your waterline and add some definition and some depth and some drama to this look if you'd like to transition it from a day to night look. So like I said, I did want to keep it pretty simple, so I went ahead and really went in on my lashes. I'm using the MAC Stack lash mascara, and this is what the look looks like without falsies, and I feel like it looks really good. This is like a really nice, interesting, kind of like fresh pastel everyday eyeshadow look, and I really like how it came out. Please disregard that mascara on my eye. I didn't clean it up. But yeah, this is basically it. It was super easy to create, and all of these shades went together so well. I did pop on a half lash just to see what it would look like, and I like it. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any other video suggestions, please let me know. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe before you leave, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!